Just because you don't have a title doesn't mean you're not a leader at work, and doesn't mean you're exempt from demonstrating leadership at work. It's also a good way to get the title eventually too. Hey leader, or aspiring leader. David Burkus here, organizational psychologist and author of 4 best-selling books on helping leaders and teams and individuals who want to lead teams do their best work ever. You know, most of my content is about how leaders and teams interact to produce an environment where everyone can do their best work ever. And one of the questions I consistently get is, okay, great, but I'm not in a leadership role. How do I get one? How do I get promoted at work? How do I become a leader? One of the things I obviously want to say is that just because you don't have the title doesn't mean you're not a leader, but I understand the sentiment. People want to move up in the organization. People want to move into a leadership role. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about the solution to the catch-22. How do you demonstrate leadership at work when you're not a leader? What activities and what qualities can you point out in you that'll prove that you're ready for leadership? The first way you can demonstrate leadership at work is to take responsibility. And what I mean here is twofold. I mean, number one, take responsibility, meaning take initiative, take on additional responsibilities, be willing to be the one first to volunteer for new projects, but also, and this one's a whole lot harder, take responsibility for your actions, for your contributions, and for your deliverables. It's nearly impossible to consistently produce work exactly on time or early, exactly under budget. Failures happen, mistakes happen, sales are lost, projects go awry. And when that happens, leaders, or at least good leaders, take responsibility for their actions. They point out, here's what I did, here's what I was expecting, here's what went wrong, and here's what I learned from it. You might feel like because you want to get promoted, you're not willing to take on any blame, but what we're looking for in leaders, in good leaders, are people who take responsibility for their actions, who are willing to accept criticism, who recognize it as feedback, and who use all of that to get better. When you want to be led by a person like that as well, so be that person that takes on additional responsibilities and takes responsibilities for their actions, successes, and failures. The next way to demonstrate leadership at work is to include others. Yeah, take responsibility, take initiative, but also take an interest in the rest of the people on your team and make sure they're included. We want leaders who truly believe that the team is greater than any individual talent, even your individual talent. And so the level to which you can include other people in the projects you're working on or help other people with the projects that they're working on shows how much of a team player you are and how much of a growing or emerging leader you are. Including others also means taking the time to better understand them, understand their strengths and weaknesses, understand the benefits that their diverse viewpoints, perspective, experience bring to your decisions and bring to the whole team. This is something that's going to make you more well-rounded, more innovative, more of a critical and creative thinker, but it's also something that's going to get your manager to notice you a bit more. If you take an interest in your team and include others and make sure others are included, then your manager is going to notice how much better the team functions around you. And he or she is going to be more willing to go to bat to help you lead a team one day as well. The next way to demonstrate leadership at work is to speak up. Offer your ideas, put them out there in team meetings, in times of discussion. Be willing to speak up by providing others feedback, and be willing to speak up to champion ideas or potential solutions that you've come up with. And I feel bad saying this because as you hear it, you might be thinking, oh, well, that's just something extroverts do. I'm introverted, I can't speak up. And that's not what I mean. You don't have to be the over talker in meetings. You don't have to be the loud, verbose one dominating the conversation, but you do have to get your ideas out there. And so if you're uncomfortable speaking up in a live meeting or in a Zoom meeting, it doesn't mean you can't speak up in other ways. It doesn't mean you can't send an individual private message to your manager or to the 2 or 3 other people who are germane to the conversation and go, you know, I had these ideas as we were talking, I just couldn't find the appropriate time to do them. If you take that route, even if you're more introverted, people will see that you're somebody who generates great ideas. They may even start to call on you more in those meetings and silence those over talkers who are trying to speak up, maybe because they heard me say speak up in meetings too, but their ideas aren't as productive, aren't as valuable as yours. If you truly believe you have a great idea, you owe it to the team to speak up. And one of the ways that you can demonstrate leadership is by speaking up on those great ideas. The fourth way to demonstrate leadership at work is to ask questions, a lot of them. And this goes hand in hand with speaking up. Maybe you don't have an idea, but you are a critical thinker, someone who is able to see things from a variety of different perspectives, or someone who's able to think through the repercussions of an idea. You may not have an idea you want to champion, but you can help people think more broadly about their ideas by speaking up to ask questions about their ideas. Asking questions of your team, asking questions of your boss, that shows your dedication, it shows your enthusiasm, and it shows your interest, and it helps guide people to making better decisions. So it shows that you're a valuable contributor in the team, even if you feel like, I'm only actually questioning stuff, I'm not championing my own ideas. We need people on a team, not just to produce, but to help others produce. And the truth is, the ones who make the best leaders are the latter, the ones who can help others produce. And one of the fastest ways to do that is by helping them think better. And the fastest way to do that is to ask questions. And the fifth and final way to demonstrate leadership at work is to deliver. And by deliver, I mean deliver high performance, deliver on what you've promised to do. You actually do have to get the work done. If you're speaking up and you're asking a bunch of questions and you're including others, but you're still failing consistently in the work that's being assigned to you, then you're not going to earn the right to even be considered as a leader. Certainly, if you take responsibility and you take initiative and then all of those initiatives fail, how likely are you going to be to get new projects, new responsibilities, and new tasks that get a new or brighter spotlight on you? It's one of the weird paradoxes of organizational life that we often promote the people who deliver high performance, even if they don't have leadership skills. And so we lose a performer and we gain a terrible leader. But the truth is, we're not going to change that overnight. And so you need to do both. You need to deliver on your high performance, deliver on your commitments, deliver on the tasks that have been assigned to you, and grow your leadership abilities by focusing on the other four, focusing on demonstrating leadership even as you're demonstrating that you are a high-performing individual contributor as well. So if you commit to delivering high performance and you commit to the others, taking responsibility, including others, speaking up and asking lots of questions, you will get noticed. And you will collect experiences that when you're noticed and when you're hinted at for a leadership role, or maybe even when you're interviewing for a leadership role, you'll have experiences you can fall back on and explain about times that you demonstrated leadership. And not only will you have great things to say in an interview, you'll have great things to say in an interview because you've actually become a better leader. You've created your own leadership development program. And in the process, not only have you helped yourself do better work, you've helped your team do better work. And I can't think of a reason why that wouldn't help you eventually take the title and become a leader who helps everyone do their best work ever. Oh, and one more thing. Once you get that leadership role, you're gonna need to know what to do. You're gonna wanna make sure that you avoid mistakes. So you're gonna wanna watch this video here on the top mistakes that new leaders make so that you know how to avoid them. That one. Don't make a mistake and click away. Watch this one next.